Good night to the Barbados Labour Party family. And good night to my people and my family in the city. Thank you for the wonderful support. I come here tonight to give a short speech. But I want to say to you that we are red and ready. Lord, look at people. Look at people out here around you. I was made to understand that the DLP had a meeting in Chaka Hall last night and had 5 people, 2 goats, and 2 dogs. I like this energy. I know I want to settle this court in order. Let us have court now tonight. And you, the people, you are the jury. And I stand tonight as the prosecutor in this court. And so tonight, I think it's incumbent upon me to tell you why I joined the Barbados Labour Party. And you know, you have some people asking why Lashley left the Democratic Labour Party. And as you know, I don't like to blow my trumpet, but I believe that I was one of the best performers in the Democratic Labour Party. But when they can invite me to a candidate selection process to sit down in front of people like Fluffy, to sit down in front of people who never ever won a seat yet, to question me about how to win a seat. Imagine that. Why would have to be Miss Lashley? Me leave it there. But I must say to you that, you know, I always said that I believe in organization. I believe in discipline. And when I look at it, and when I examine myself, and if these things come into me, and sending me letters to say you have to come to sit down in front of people, some of the most incompetent people, some of them are questionable, but I won't go because I understand the laws of defamation. But I want to say to you that, you know, that when I compare the Democratic Labour Party at that time, that I believe that a 4-day morning ban at Cropova was more organized than the Democratic Labour Party. And I say to you tonight that a further example of that is that I went in the High Court in the morning. And a man who I always seen on internet eating the people food, but don't give them anything. And he said to me, I want to be a candidate in St. Peter. I said, are you a member of the DLP? He said, no. You know, that was the Thursday. You know, but the Friday he was announced as a candidate to run in St. Peter. So when they talk about discipline, and they talk about being organized, and that is when it came to me full circle, that they need a party that is disciplined, that they need a party that is organized, and that they believe that some stage you have to put country first. And so, I recall that he was asked by the Prime Minister to join an advisory council. She said to me, can you lend your skills to this council? Because, of course, we were being confronted by serious gun violence and lawlessness in the country. And so I believe that it was my duty at the time to offer my services to this council. And you know, when I go back, the Democratic Labour Party set up a council. I was never asked to sit on the council. But I like to believe that I have a good record in the law courts. I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but I believe so. I believe so. And I believe that I will have been competent enough to sit on that council and give them some good information. And you know, we established this council, and this council had all the stakeholders that connected to the criminal justice system in Barbados. We had civil society, we had the trade unions, we had lawyers, Marty Garns, members from the Bar Association, and that we had meetings. So when they were talking that we weren't having meetings, we were having meetings day in, day out. And I could tell you that I haven't been appointed as the co-chair of the advisory council. And you know, as a lawyer, I always walk with evidence. And you see these 3 reports here? This is just a summary. We had to put it together. Myself and Marty Garns had to put it together in this document. But we did tremendous work. We made recommendations with respect to legislation dealing with commission, or in fact, investigations involving police officers and civilians. And that although legislation is there, that we made recommendations based on other pieces of legislation coming out of Jamaica to make it more transparent, to make officers more accountable in dealing with the public. And you know, we did so much work. And we sent off the recommendations from the report to the Attorney General's office. And they have no doubt, and they have full confidence that those recommendations will be acted upon. I want to say to you that, you know, I heard the opposition speaking about the anti-gun legislation. And we, in our committee, we examined various pieces of legislation, anti-gun legislation coming out of other jurisdictions, namely Trinidad. And we distilled the legislation, clause by clause, word by word. And we made recommendations because we believe that is something that, and we believe that is something that that should be acted upon carefully because it impacts on people's rights. It impacts on people's rights. So we have to be careful. But I want to say to you, I will wrap up now, that the attempts to say that this commission did not work or is not working is a lie. And the fact too, that there have been so many adjustments and so many pieces of legislation to the criminal justice system in Barbados. I can speak about it. The Bail Act, the amendments to the Juries Act. So I want to say to you tonight, I want to be short and sweet. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night to the people. Thank you.